and his feet like unto fine brass.
What color is brass? Like a gold, which is a derivative of what? Brown, right? Now, read.
As if they burned in a furnace.
So it said not only is it a type of brown, but then it described it. If you burn anything, what color do it turn? Oh, black, right? So we'll go ahead, finish it out.
And his voice as the sound of many waters.
Are you on camera?
Hey, shalom, Most High Christ bless. We're here at the Kunta Kinte Heritage Festival. I'm actually standing here with the coordinator of the festival, Brother Terrell. How you doing today, brother?
I'm well. Thank you very much, good brother. Honored to be here with you.
We're honored to have you here. So let's get right into it, brother. So we're talking about African-American culture. So first question is, what is African-American culture?
African-American culture is still our best offer from the system to learn who we are. But you know, we have old traditions. We go to scriptures, we go to our ancestors, and this is just a moment when we can get together on an occasion and continue relearning our story, keeping the pen in our hand, and sharing what we've learned with each other, you know, one good day.
Shalom, Israel. This Officer Azza here. We out here at the Kunta Kinte Heritage Festival. I'm here with, what's your name?
TJ.
TJ. Okay, so the festival is named Kunta Kinte. They say reportedly he stayed connected to his heritage. So the state of our people today, as black people, would you say we're still connected to our heritage?
I would say we're trying to get back there. We got disconnected. Slavery, our names were taken from us, our heritage was taken from us. We were disconnected from our ancestors. The names we were given are not our names. And so I would say in current times today, we're trying to get back there. Need a little bit of help, a little bit more understanding. I really appreciate what the Hebrew Nation of Islam, other organizations and groups are doing to try to get us back there.
Shalom, Most High Christ bless. We here at the Kunta Kinte Heritage Festival in Annapolis, Maryland. I got Sis Tony with me. So Sis Tony, first question, what is African-American culture?
This is African-American culture. We're African-American culture, and it's up to us to educate others about African-American culture.
As far as you know, what is black culture? What is black heritage? Do you know?
Yeah, that's a very good question. And so as far as I know, black culture and black heritage is the culture and heritage from our ancestors from ancient Egypt, from different parts of the motherland, from the continent. A lot of things, music, food, tradition, style of dress, but even beyond that, just the things that we were taught that was passed down to us in ancient times that was lost via the Middle Passage, via the things that was placed upon us, different type of religions and the things like that, that and whatnot that we were subject to during the days of slavery.
Is there a difference between American culture and African-American culture? Is it intertwined? Is it one and the same?
There's a difference, and the difference is us as a people, we've been oppressed, whereas everybody can't say that. So our culture is our culture. It can't be intertwined or mixed because they don't know our pain. They don't know what we've been through, and like I said, we have to educate them.
Okay. Okay, so I wanna kind of piggyback on that a little bit. What is it that we need to educate other communities about our community that they need to know or may not know?
Our heritage, our history, where we come from, where we're going, what we want, what we need, what we deserve as a people.
Is there a difference between American culture and African American culture? Are they one and the same? What say you?
Oh, that's an excellent question. They are different and distinct. They are different and distinct because everybody wants to be an American, and we need to know why. Everybody wants to be an African, and we need to know why, because we're in between. We're in between. We're African, African American, black some days. So our story is very unique, and it's up to us to determine how that how that is told, how much it covers, what time it covers. So yeah, African history and American history, different things.
Over the years, I'm pretty sure that you've witnessed this yourself. The African American community, we've been identified by many different labels, like from colored, Negroes, nigger, Afro Americans. So, with that being said, why do you think that we've been identified by so many different labels if we have a culture to stand on?
Because it's what we accept. If we don't correct anyone, then they're going to continue with what they know.
So you said that some days we're black, some days we're this, which leads up to my next question. So over the decades, we've been called many different labels. We've been identified as African Americans, Negroes, niggers, coloreds, Afro Americans. Why does our identity change every few decades if we have an established identity already?
Oh wow, I think that's a grand question as well. I'm gonna have to go back to the ways of our holy ancestors, because they dealt with a lot of the same issues, and I'm still studying the big mystery of the why does this keep happening? But we know that along the way there have been people that said, you know what, not today. Not today. We're not going to be outside your name. We're not going with that game. Let me tell you the truth about who you are. Let me tell you the truth about the Father that made you, and the truth about where you can find the answers, of life, about yourself, life, and the one who made everything. That's kind of our story. That's our context. And, even that comes in many different names, but there's a lot of love there and a lot of truth and events that we can all find our place around and find out where we fit in. So it's a little different than some of the other paradigms presented to us.
Correct me if I'm wrong. You said one of the ways because you said we're trying to connect back to our heritage, correct? So one of the ways we lost our heritage, I don't want to put the words in your mouth. What were the ways you said we lost our heritage?
Yeah, slavery. Yeah, slavery being the biggest culprit of that. We were snatched away. Our homes were separated. Men were separated from women. Lighter skinned were separated from darker skinned. Our names were taken away, and thus we don't know what our heritage is. And I believe nowadays more and more people are trying to figure that out, trying to figure out what our true heritage is. And I believe we're trying to connect and get back there.
Absolutely, absolutely. So my last question. So as far as Google's concerned, slavery was abolished in 2007. Excuse me, the last country to abolish slavery was Mauritania. Right. So if you're not aware, Apple is threatening to ban Facebook because human trafficking is still being conducted on their platform. What do you think about that?
Human trafficking is terrible. And any way that we can shut down human trafficking, I think is absolutely necessary. And I am a bit aware of, slavery just ending in other countries. But I mean, even states like Mississippi just recognizing, the ending of slavery just a few years ago is quite terrible. And so, we have to educate ourselves and stay educated in order to reconnect with our ancestors. I just recently read a great article talking about ancient Egypt and how the ancient Egyptians considered the Sudanese as home, as the Sudan's as motherland. And if you know anything about Sudan, they are darker than me. It's a beautiful thing. And so, as we see Hollywood portray, ancient Egyptians as something of the lighter skin, when we know that that's not true, it's just other ways where we can educate ourselves and we're in this woke society, but are we really woke?
What club was that at?
Admit that a lot of people don't even realize they.
I've called her. She hasn't responded. I've called her more than a few times.
With the Zulu nation, I'm like, what the hell is this? I know nobody know what I'm talking about. You'll leave me on the island by myself. I don't know what the hell Bishop's talking about. That's what y'all do. Then after class, yeah, I knew what you were talking about. I just don't want to be caught out there. The hell is this? Get on my damn nerves. So read that again, 31.
Are we as African Americans, are we free? And if we are free, do you see it playing out today in our communities? And what is your definition of freedom?
Excellent questions. No, we are not free as African Americans. African American was a name given to us. And you know what they say about freedom? That's something you have to get for yourself. So anything that can be given can be taken away. And so we have it within us to learn about our story here, there, and everywhere. Our Israelite history, because the Hebrew kind of denotes the slavery. We want to get away from that. So we are Israelites. We are Moors. We are a bunch of things that find their place around that same great creator, that same great God. So that's where we find that over the years of time, we've been able to have successful civilizations together, showing love, demonstrating to the world, hey, this is what it means to be holy. This is what the scripture is really saying, and being able to demonstrate it in our words, works, and deeds. And brother, I think it's time for us to do that again.
Do you feel that we as African Americans are free? Or I'll word it like this. What is your definition of freedom for the African American community? And do you see it happening within our communities, your definition of freedom?
Equality, and no, I do not.
Okay. So last question I have for you is this. It's been taught that we are from Africa. So what country or countries do we come from, do we originate from, and why is it that our own people over in Africa haven't brought us back home when we were enduring such discrimination and slavery over here in America? Why do you think they left us over here?
Possibly because they were afraid that they would have to endure the same thing.
We've been identified as, or we do identify as African Americans today. So with that being said, what country or countries do we originate from? I'm going to start with that question because it's a two-part question. So what country or countries do we originate from?
Well, we are indigenous to the planet, and that's what makes us particularly special and highly favored. So whenever we wake up and claim, oh, this is my land, this is where my ancestors came from, guess what? There's a whole lot of truth there, and it just keeps going. Okay. But we know we're more than the flesh, we're more than the bones, and that's why it's a pleasure to be here with you and see you here, because that's what we're reawakening into. And you guys are leading the charge.
Okay, so I want to get this last question out. So if we do identify as Africans, why hasn't our African people come to save us and bring us back to our homeland? Because we endured such much discrimination and slavery over the past centuries. Why haven't they said, hey, let's go to America and bring our people home? Why hasn't that happened yet in your thoughts?
Well, I think that's another great question. One of the things I consider is that the same one that has been involved in the murder, the death, the lies, all the things of the history of our brothers and sisters and ancestors over here, well, they're right on over there in that part of Africa doing the same things. Right. So it makes me consider that maybe we aren't waiting on them, maybe they're waiting on us.
Okay.
Because we have that European that came over here and is camped out and said, I'm an American, I'm this, and you're that. He's done taken that stuff over there, too. So I'm pretty sure when we get our house in order, we'll either be in better position to show them what to do next, or we'll be ready to lead the way.
Hey, TJ, that was some great stuff. So I actually got one more question. Now that you mentioned these things, what would you identify your nationality as? Like, what's your race of people?
That of the African people, unapologetically. And so, what particular tribe, I'm not sure. I'm still trying to figure that out myself, you know? So that's still a journey for me.
So I just want to bring out a couple scriptures for you. Let me get Baruch 3 and 8, and feel free to chime in on these scriptures if you want. All right. So let's start with Baruch chapter 3 and 8, because like you mentioned, we are not free. We do have a homeland, but we're not able to go back to that homeland just yet. So we have to make do with what we have. Right. So let's bring that out.
This is the book of Baruch, chapter 3, verse 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity.
So even though Baruch was talking about that day in this context, he's actually talking about today in 2021. We are yet this day in our captivity. I'm pretty sure that you're aware of the Haitian immigrant crisis down in Texas. Those people, they left their homeland because of an earthquake. They were displaced. Now they're trying to find refuge in a country that doesn't want them here. And to those of us who may not know, those are our people as well, because they do fit the African diaspora. Read on.
Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us.
Because as you mentioned, the Lord, he scattered us throughout the four corners of the earth for disobedience. Read.
Where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse.
We are a reproach. Like I said, the Haitians, they're a reproach down there. They're living under bridges. But on the flip side of the coin, you have 50,000 Afghan refugees that were ushered into the country. They were given visas and money. That's a complete slap to the face to the black community. Read on.
A reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments.
We're subject to payments, rent, mortgage, child support. We are under the oppression of our captors till this day. Read on.
According to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our God.
Like you mentioned before, our forefathers, our ancestors, they had that connection with that one being, but because of our disobedience, we decided to say, you know what, we're going to do things our way. And we have it. We are in our conditions today. So I'm going to leave you with this last scripture, Brother Terrell. Let me get Sirach 17:11. Sirach chapter 17, verse 11. We're going to talk about heritage.
His brother's shining his light over here. We say you working, doctor.
All praises. So let's get this last scripture for you, brother. Read on.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 17, verse 11. Beside this, he gave them knowledge.
So God gave the Israelites, the Jews, the Moors, we're all the same people. He gave us knowledge. Read.
And the law of life for an heritage.
And the law of life for inheritance. So that truly is our heritage. This Bible is our heritage. So you want to add anything before we get out of here?
Oh, I mean, it's just beautiful to be with my brothers that are out here, not just believing in the word, not just faithful in the word. They are the fruition of the word. And this is what happens when we follow the law. When we follow the law, we can better understand this great God that has brought us here and didn't bring us here for no reason. So it's wonderful to see y'all out here demonstrating what it means to be holy and divine, what it means to be on the front line in these days and time. Because it's not with the fist, but it's with this. And we're going to get ourselves out of this situation at long last. So I honor you, and I'm honored to be here with you all.
Thank you, Brother Terrell. IUIC Cuts from the Streets. Shalom.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.